Welcome to vintagesf. Today, part 2 of moving into an apartment. Now, this is a series that may go on for a little while, periodically, because I don't think I'll have my entire library or shelving system here until sometime in April, which actually would coincide with my 3rd anniversary for the channel. Now, I just want to address a couple things that came up in the comments from the last video, and then I'll show you how I arranged my shelves and populated them so far. Remember, a lot of my library is still in the house being staged, including all of my SF masterworks. So one question was, did I thin the herd? I certainly did. There was probably about 2 crates of books that I donated, and I have another box full here that I plan to use for trade or for selling eventually. These include some graphic novels. I also have a number of copies of X-Men 137. When that comic came out, I had bought multiple issues. But as you can see behind me and from my other house, there are a lot of books still. The other question was, are they all going to fit in this room? The answer is no. I do have extra shelves in here right now that are actually empty, and we have some shelving in our main living area and in our bedroom. Now, not all of that is going to be occupied by my books. Another question we would get is, why move from a house to an apartment? Well, there are a couple reasons. One is definitely to simplify our life. The other is we lived in a bi-level, and so there's stairways down and up, and that can become a problem for people with mobility issues. In that way, it was a bit of a preemptive strike to move to an apartment. And probably the prime reason for the move right now is this was an opportunity that we couldn't miss. Of course, there's many other reasons, but I don't think I'm going to share them here. I will say, though, it has forced us to really downsize our possessions, which I believe is a really good thing. Besides becoming slightly more minimalist, doesn't look like it though, we also have done a favor for our kids for the days that we will not be able to live in an apartment anymore, or that we pass away. They won't have so many items to go through. But another way of saying all this is that my wife and I like to make a preemptive strike in life. So enough about me, let's get to the books. I'm going to fast forward through a section here where I'm putting the shelves in place and unpacking books. There's not a lot of order here except that I try to keep anthologies and collections together, and some authors who I have a lot of books for, I try to put those together in a shelf. The order that is in the shelves now will be completely different in a couple months, but this will suffice as we continue on in our vintage SF journey. So let's get to that fast forward populating of the shelves for the SF archives. Well, let's see what we can do here about shelving some books. So in this transition period, I'm reading The Lottery and Other Stories by Shirley Jackson. I'm finding it hard to concentrate otherwise on a novel. I will be doing a buddy read very soon. We'll be reading Chasm City by Alistair Reynolds. So here are the shelves as they sit right now. This is really much of a random order, although I got all the E&M banks together and all the Alistair Reynolds together. I made this the anthology or collection shelf. And below that I have a number of graphic novels, with a Stephen King novel, 11/22/63, is thrown in on the side, as well as Laura J. Mixon up against it. Back up here, I have my Stanislav Lem collection and a lot of classic literature here. I'm saving a few ace doubles that I've collected over the years. And here are some series that I'm presently collecting whenever I see them in used bookstores. There's the Tor doubles, the SF Master series, and the Rediscovery series. Just some odds and ends, including hard case files, Spider-Man on his shelf by himself. Some more down here, some King, some other things, some graphic novels by Doug TenNapel, and some more anthologies in paperback form. Didn't quite straighten that out yet. And here is the stack of boxes that I emptied. There's still some work to be done. It's not exactly a clean room at this moment, and I have 8 boxes of vintage paperbacks in here as well. So next week I expect to get back to regular scheduled programming. I'll have a review of Darwinia by Robert Charles Wilson, and I'll also take a look at Werner Vinge's early novels, The Peace War and Marooned in Real Time. My friends Bart of Bart's Bookspace and Whitney of Secret Sauce of Storycraft will join me as we talk about these early Vinge novels. Will they live up to the Zones of Thought novels of the 90s? And I'll keep you updated as things happen over the next couple of months. So until next time, keep reading.